Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and I swear this isn't what I'm trying to do, but every single video this past few days has now just been Super Mario. That's because all we're getting is Super Mario news somehow, and I think it's the craziest thing, and it's honestly, it's really surprising me. It's almost like the coronavirus. Like every single time that you go on Twitter or the news or whatever, some update has come out with that. And honestly, I could say the same thing here with Super Mario. So I'm glad that I didn't do the video yesterday because some even more interesting news has come out since I actually sat down and tried starting to record this video, which it's crazy. It genuinely is crazy. There's so much to go over today. There has been so much news. I believe some members of LAN, the LEGO Ambassador Network, have had the opportunity to sit down and actually interview some of the people working on this theme. My friend 1414 Falcon Fan on Instagram, he has just been covering all of the latest developments and different things with that. So like I said, we'll go over the trailer and we're going to talk about all of the different characters that were in the trailers and all the enemies and what's going on, because there's just so much to start with. So I guess we'll start with the trailer. At this point, go watch the trailer. It shows it all. It has sound. It's really great. But let's talk about the enemies that are going to be coming in the sets and how many sets I actually think we're seeing here. Now, we know that there are going to be 13 sets supposedly. One of them is a blind bag. Now, I don't personally believe we've seen anyone from the blind bag. Maybe one, about what my theory is for that. But let's go ahead and let's get started. So we saw the entire sort of level that you can play through, and of course this is not one set. Like, there's so much going on here. It's not one set. I believe the one picture that they showed us of Mario in the pipe and the Goomba and the flag, I believe that's a separate set. I think that's going to be the starter pack. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that Mario himself is going to be pretty expensive to get your hands on. Now, the characters that we do see in the trailer are, of course, a Goomba, Yoshi, Bowser Jr., a Shy Guy at the start, a cool piranha plant, a Koopa, a blooper, a fire, the little fire that is jumping in like Bowser's castle and different things like that. We also see Monty Mole, and we have a reference to Toad in the form of a Toad hut. There's actually also a stepped-on Goomba variant with a mouth open, which you can see in the big pan shot. Now, that's a lot of different characters, and I'm personally believing that every single character will be their own set. Now, not necessarily the Goomba, since he is with Mario already, but you can hear in some of the interviews, which I will start with the site Zasimber. Yeah, I'll link it down below. You know, they had the opportunity to interview the creative lead, and it's really interesting. So I'm just going to give a bit of a brief, and then I'll read some words, some remarks and different things exactly. But this person actually was working on the LEGO Dimensions team. So that kind of gives you maybe some insight into this theme. I personally really love Dimensions, and it makes a lot of sense that they take someone from that team to create this new version, I guess, of Toys to Life. This is completely new. Like, I don't think this has really ever been done before, so it's really, really interesting. The first question I want to talk about was this. There are still many LEGO fans who prefer to only play with the bricks and ignore the digital components. Would you say that at least the more expensive sets are also going to be good display sets? And his response was, well, we'll leave that to our fantastic community, but I can assure you that some very iconic sets will come. So that really ties in, I think, to the idea that there might be some minifigure scale sets. We'll talk about that a little bit more with some other remarks. Do all of the sets have digital components, and are there any differences? His response was, LEGO Super Mario is the only character with technology, but all sets are equipped with action bricks with he can interact with. So, what does that mean? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're getting a Luigi at this time, or Wario, or different things like that. And especially when it comes to the technology, I think that it's going to be pretty pricey. It's going to be pretty pricey, I think, for him. And so that's a bit of a shame. I was really looking forward to getting different characters, but as of right now, at least that's what he's saying. He could be not revealing everything, but I have a feeling for now, I think that's all we're going to get. The question was, of all of the sets we'll see over the course of the year, which is your favorite set and why? He said that I'd like to answer this later on because I have a favorite set, but I don't want to spoil it here. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to guess it's probably the biggest set, and we're going to talk about minifigures and different things like that. I'm sure you saw in the thumbnail in a little bit. But one of the questions was, do the sets contain new elements? And honestly, you can see there's just a ton. Just on like Bowser Jr. alone, there's so many. All these little plates, it seems like that they're all brand new, the ones that can connect to each other, the pipe piece, there's so many different things, of course. And the question was, will we see a Mario or Luigi minifigure? And he said, unfortunately, I cannot answer this question at this time. That's pretty important. I think he can't answer that. So, I mean, if we aren't getting minifigures, I think he probably would have been allowed to say, no, this is all that we're getting. But I think that they're just not able to show it off, I think. And there's one really interesting quote that I'll get to in a bit, but I think that's super interesting. That's it for that interview I wanted to talk about, but there is something else that from David Hall, Solid Brick Studios. It was really interesting. He asked them about the relationship between Lego and Nintendo, and it was interesting because Nintendo actually wanted regular Lego sets, but Lego was the one that pushed for the technology and interactivity features. So that's really, really interesting information. The Brothers Brick also had a really interesting interview, and the question was, Mario's universe is almost as big as the Lego universe. Can we expect future level packs from other Mario games like Odyssey or Mario Kart, or from any other Nintendo properties like Zelda or Donkey Kong? And they said specifically, again, I can't go into any specifics here, but I can say that we haven't worked for 4 years to release just one wave of products. We hope to have a long and fruitful relationship with Nintendo and their IPs. We are looking forward to working with them on a longer term. They have a lot of exciting IPs that we might do or might not do. So that's super, super interesting to me. That's the biggest news. First of all, that this has been in the works for 4 years. K'NEX has had the license. So how does that make K'NEX feel hearing this? Like, when K'NEX comes to like show Nintendo these products, are they going, yeah, fine, whatever, just do whatever you want? Like, we know we're about to get a better company in a few years, and we just have to sit here and plan with them. I don't know how all that works. It's really interesting. And the last rumor that I want to talk about here is from the Brick Fanatics, and this is just a rumor. I don't know where they're getting this from, but the rumor is that Mario will have different costumes. The blue overalls and cap can be removed and switched out with alternative styles. It is also possible that these will activate different game modes. So I don't know how that's going to work. It doesn't make sense to me because I think that the body and the actual, like the legs and everything are one piece. But if they're not, the thing is that the only, like, I'd say the next most popular version of Mario would be the Fire Mario version. And I don't know, because that would be white arms and red overalls. So if the overalls can be subbed out, but the body's still the red, so that's kind of strange to me. We do know that the hat is a separate piece, but that doesn't make too much sense. Yeah, just for a lot of reasons, like even a penguin suit or different things. I'm not sure how that would work, or like the chip there would have to be some sort of chip in the legs or something to make the body know that this is a new game mode to be activated. It's very weird, but it could very well be the $10 sets, but how would they market that? Oh, here's a pair of overalls and a hat for Mario. Be very strange, very, very strange, but let's talk specifically about some of those sets like I mentioned before. Now, some people in the community, specifically in the comment section, came up with just the most brilliant thought. And it was that Minecraft, when it first started, was of course a Lego Kuso or Ideas set. And that was a micro world. And then of course we got 3 more micro world sets that could connect to each other for the first few years of the theme. And I think it was 2 years into them having the license, the Lego Minecraft theme that we know and love today launched. And it's one of my favorite themes of all time. And that is of course the minifigure scale. So I think that regardless of how this does, I personally want to support it. I don't know if I'll get all of them, but I do really want all the characters. I love Bowser Jr. and just everyone looks just so great. Maybe not Mario, like I don't like his blocky head or whatever, but Yoshi looks great, and Bowser, just the Goombas, everyone I think is done really, really well, except for the exception of Mario. I don't know why his head just isn't round. It's very strange. It is really weird. It's like it's mixed with Minecraft. I don't know what's going on, but that was a really interesting thought. And then I know Justin had another one in his video, and it was that Overwatch actually had both a mix of the big Bastion set as well as the regular minifigure scale sets. Now, I would say that's a little different because that's just a very common thing. I mean, you look at Star Wars or even Marvel at this point, like just having a mix of things like that. When things are revealed, I think that the minifigure would be the way to go. That's the only thing holding me back here. So my gut, and I could be wrong, and I hope I am. Don't get me wrong, I really hope that I am wrong, but I personally believe that the first wave of sets are just going to be this, and maybe in the back they'll have a tease, like in the instructions or whatever, they'll have a tease for minifigure sets to come. I could definitely see that being the case, but a lot of people are really confused specifically by my mention of blind bags. Blind bags, like I said in my last video, are not going to be minifigures for a couple of reasons. Number one, the biggest one, is that it's not in the minifigures number orders. So if it was actually a minifigure series, they would have a separate numbering, and it would be in line with the Harry Potter Series 2 coming out either after, I guess it would be before, since the Harry Potter series is coming out in October, and if it was going to be releasing alongside of this theme in August, then it would be the set after Series 20, which it just doesn't line up. And specifically, a blind bag is just, you don't know what's inside. You don't know what you're going to be getting inside. And that was done with Nexo Knights. That was done with, as well, the Unikitty. I know they considered those technically minifigures, but those were still bricks. And I'm not sure about the numbering for that theme or that series, but there's just so much going on, and I have really come around on this theme. I think that it definitely can be perfection. It can be the perfect theme. I really do believe that, and hopefully there are minifigure scale sets, but if you just look, I have a feeling that these sets, the biggest one probably will have like a big Bowser or something, and maybe a Peach as well from To Rescue. I'm not really too sure, but I think that this is definitely going to be the route that they're going, and I think that just for now, I think this is what's going to be happening, and maybe if this does well, then they'll continue to do expansions alongside a minifigure scale theme, maybe starting in January. I think that's definitely a possibility, along with the CMF series, which would be really, really great. Lastly, I just want to quickly mention what I think the blind bags could be. I think that they could definitely be Shy Guy. I was looking at the piece count for that. It would line up just having those small characters and different things, and like a blooper or a flying Koopa or a red shell Koopa, different things like that, even maybe some Koopalings. I'm not really sure, but there's definitely a lot of different characters that you could just throw in there just for $4 that don't have a lot of parts, but definitely people would go out and buy. But that's just my thoughts. Maybe it's power-ups to go with the Toad Hut. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see. I have a feeling that we're just going to keep getting news for this, and I'm really excited, and I will be sure to keep you up to date. But I think, hopefully, this is the last for a while of Super Mario news. Not that I don't love covering it, because I do. It's been a lot of fun, and I think that this theme has a lot of potential, and it is genuinely one of the most creative and unique ideas I think we've ever had for LEGO. So I'm really excited, and it seems like the whole world, like just the gaming community and different things, are excited. But anyways, everyone, I hope that you did enjoy this video. Let me know down below in the comments section what you think of this. I hope that you did enjoy it, and I hope that you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.